Some days my hour of power is 30 seconds. Some days it's a full hour.
So it's more of a concept than an actual
Absolutely
structure.
Yeah. And what I like to do is make sure that I don't go and begin something without putting thought, intention into that day first. If you can do your hour of power even for 30 seconds, it changes you. It changes your frequency. It changes how you are. It reminds you that this is just all life.
I am
living God's light.
I did have somebody message me and tell me that they feel like I am a representative of them in this seat and that my voice is really needed and they really, really appreciate what I bring to the podcast. And that was very touching. It was very touching. And it gave me like this massive, keep going. I'm on the right path, you know? So it was really cool.
I'll Venmo them later.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that message from somebody other than us, because
we've been telling you that the whole time. It does feel better when it comes from an outside voice, because then you feel they're not jaded or anything. Yeah,
well, that's true. And I get sometimes people will thank me for some thoughts or insights or something I have, which is also helpful and validating. Not that I'm fishing for it, but is many times I'm like, I've got a different way of looking at stuff, and I hope people like it. But
what I love is that all three of us feel comfortable expressing our different side of it all.
That's
really cool.
That is true. I feel like I've gotten more comfortable being authentically me in this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my background.
It's Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about Living God's Light, and with the community piece that's growing, and with the discussions going on in Discord, so many new people are just welcomed by everybody who's already there, and people are just sharing everything about themselves. And I love how, without exception, people are like, we love that you're here and thank you for being you.
Yep.
And that's all we want, is people to be authentic and comfortable and to feel loved, as we're all striving to connect with our Creator and connect with each other in a way that can be authentically us.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's only one way to be. Only one way to be.
Yeah. Somebody shared in the group the other day, a guy hugging a tree. Like, it was a meme sharing, like, I honor your love of nature, you know, and it was just a cute share. So I love that. That's kind of what's going on over there, is like so much camaraderie and just instant, you belong here. It's really cool to see.
Today, talking hour of power.
Yeah.
What does that look like? Today. What does that look like for each of us?
So what is the hour of power?
So hour of power is what you frame your day with.
Okay.
So it's what you start your day with. It's what you finish your day with. It builds almost a theme, a motto, a culture to what your day experience is going to be. And it's this unseen opportunity for everyone to put some really good stuff. So one day I went and Googled hour of power, like where that comes from. And one of the first uses is in the early 80s of a self-help guy. But he was using it very, very much about, climb the ladder of success, make sure you're putting something that climbs the ladder for you or with you. But also recognizing the opportunity that there's something that everyone's going to put there, and you can be more thoughtful, more intentional about what you put there. Especially if you don't like what you're seeing in your life, start putting some good things in your hour of power, and it starts shifting things. If that's the only thing you do is shift your hour of power, it shifts you over time.
So is that like the The first 30 minutes in the morning and the last 30 minutes in the evening, so that hour split on 2 parts, or do
So
you
what's funny is some days my hour of power is 30 seconds. Some days it's a full hour.
So it's more of a concept than an actual
Absolutely. Yeah.
structure.
And what I like to do is make sure that I don't go and begin something without putting thought, intention into that day first. And then also kind of a reckoning at the end of my day. Did things go the way I wanted? Did the plans work out? Did goals get achieved? That kind of thing. But bigger than that, am I happy with what's going on?
Mhm.
And it's a perfect little check-in point that if we're not, let's make sure we plant some really good positive stuff there at the end of your day and allow you your rest, your sleep time primed with positive energy.
Something that I found is really both difficult, but when I can do it, it makes a difference, is I spend some time spending at least a little bit of time in that hour of power before I even pick up my phone.
That's big.
So
Yeah.
then I'm setting the intention for my day instead of whatever is on my phone, whether it be messages or news or games or anything on my phone. If I pick that up first, that's setting the tone for the day, whatever I see. But if I set that aside, don't even look at it until I've had a chance to set my intentions, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does. It helps a lot. I learned a few years ago about the Indian alarm clock. Have you ever heard of that?
Please share. I don't know what you're talking about.
So before you go to bed, you grab a bottle of water or a glass of water, and you set the intention that you want to receive rest and you want to wake up at this specific time. You drink that water, and then you wake up about 5 to 10 minutes before that time. So I set alarms, but very seldom do I actually hear them go off because I always wake up and, I start my hour of power and I make sure I turn off my alarm before I do my hour of power.
I
it
would
will
love that
interrupt.
to work for
Yeah.
me.
It is harder with kids though. It is with little ones especially. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. I've had that work. Lately, my mornings have been a little less structured, and I do always set an alarm as a backup. But yeah, I've set that intention. I want to wake up at this time, and usually within about 5 minutes before that time, I'm awake.
Gosh, what are you guys doing? Because I know that the scientifically, it's proven like our bodies are so attached to our circadian rhythm, and we can, if our bodies are, I don't know, balanced, if that's probably the right word, um, that they're aware of time, and so we should be able to wake up like that. But that is not my reality right now.
So here's the challenge. Try it. Do that drink of water, and it's really weird because it's like that water goes into you before you go to bed, and then what does help wake you up is the urgency to dehydrate.
Yeah. Well, and I can see that working, and I can even there's been times when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, brain, shut off the communication to the bladder because I'm not getting up right now. And it's worked. So I know that, if I talk to my body, it listens. So I need to try that.
Just try it. Just practice it. Experiment with it. Play with it. Just play
Yeah.
with it and
Yeah.
see what happens. And it might take some practice and some timing, and there might be some other factors that influence that. Like if you've got a house full of kids and you're exhausted, and
Yeah, I would love for my mornings to not start with clicking the alarm off on my phone. And I've even purchased an old school alarm, but I don't know, it just doesn't stick. The phone just seems to stick. So that's where I'm at right now. But I'm very intentional in not clicking my notifications first.
Yeah.
So that's been good. I do feel like I've strengthened that muscle. Like I've been able to not need to see what has come to me in the past 10 hours. I wasn't attached to it.
yeah.
Which is so
And to clarify, so when I do set an alarm, I do use my phone. So when I say I don't pick up my phone,
yeah.
it means that I don't let my phone control my morning routine.
Right.
I control my morning. So I use it, and a phone is a multi-function tool. I use the pieces that I need, and I don't get sucked into the pieces I'm not ready for.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I'm just such in that phase of life right now where it's my kids are telling me where I need to be and when I need to do it. And if that makes sense. So like I wake up and it is go, go, go for school and all the things.
Mhm.
So it's not that I'm like poo-pooing this idea. Obviously
Mhm.
I'm not, but I'm just empathizing with all those that are like, okay, I'm really great at night, but I suck at the morning.
So I got a thought. I got a thought. Going back to what Vinney said is the 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and if your intention is I'm going to fulfill all of my responsibilities with awareness and love today, there, you've done your hour of power
Yeah.
in 10 seconds.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense on paper, but come on. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's
You know what?
good. That's good.
My shortest hour of power is about 15 seconds. It's about enough time to do 2 big deep breaths and releases, and or one really big one, and you just doing that
Yeah.
instead of letting your body go directly into fight or flight. You give it this space to put breath, and that breath puts you in a completely different mental space for the day.
Yeah, that's
Especially if you attach words to the breath. That's what I love to do. You know,
Like what kind of words?
good. Yeah, what
like
kind of words?
like breathe in peace, release my need for control. Because we're not going to be able to control everything in this life. I think, hate to break it to you,
Dang it.
but
Alyssa and I are both, say it isn't true.
and so, releasing my need for control and also releasing my inner need to think that I need any control.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
just breathing in peace. That it's just this very simple word. And starting a day like that, you're a different person than if you grab your alarm clock. Oh crap, we're going to be late. This.
Yeah.
Because I've got kids too, and not as many of Alyssa, so or Lynn, but Lynn's already through that phase, so pretty much. And with my little one, he doesn't get up till later, but my teenager, she's up at 5 and
Wow.
doing the early morning thing.
Yeah.
So it works on you though. You've got to set up those kind of guardrails and say, hey, if I'm supposed to wake up at 5, I'm waking up at 4:40. If I'm supposed to wake up at 6, I'm waking up at 30 minutes before 6, 5:30. So
Yeah.
if you set that for yourself, try it a few times. Don't ruin your day because you got to get up and do your hour of power. That ruins the whole idea of it. But allow it to be very natural, embracive. If you are near nature anywhere, even if it's just your front patio and you have a potted plant, if you can do your hour of power even for 30 seconds next to that plant, it changes you. It changes your frequency. It changes how you are. It reminds you that this is just all life. And it's part of what we do here on earth is we live.
Yeah.
So how does doing that, obvious, but I do want your thoughts on how setting that attention and that focus at the beginning of the day helps with your connection with the creator and with other people throughout the day. Like what's the long-term benefit?
For me, what it does, it takes me out of the front seat of the car and puts me in the back seat of the car. I can still...
And who's driving?
God.
Hey, more about that.
Just kidding.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah.
It takes you into this place where, okay, I know certain things are going to happen, but I don't have to be in this position where I'm constantly acting or reacting on things. I can say, this would be really nice to go smell those flowers today. To go do it.
Yeah.
Even if you're almost 5 minutes late. To me, it's so important to follow the flow of life. And in the flow, we find our greatest gifts. We really do. There's a reason why rivers don't flow straight, because they're not pretty when they're straight. They're just a canal.
So you mentioned smelling the roses. So yesterday we were moving. One of my kids recently got married, and we were moving them into an apartment yesterday, and it's a long day, lots of loading stuff. The neighbor has just where we live. There's not a whole lot of vegetation, but they have a plant, and it's a rose bush that sits in a pot outside their front door. And on that rose bush was a single blooming rose. And we're good friends with them, so I know they were fine with me just going over there and just stopped and smelled that rose. And it was the most fragrant rose I've smelled in a while. And I told everybody, I was like, stop what you're doing. You need to go smell that rose.
I love that.
That's
And it
really
was-
awesome.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
My grandpa raised roses, so they're kind of special to me.
Yeah.
But he had a whole bunch. So yeah, I grew up around just different kinds, and that one was really, really good. So 10 out of 10 recommend literally stopping to smell the roses when you get a chance.
Yeah, that's good. Me and Josh were this past weekend. My in-laws came and they were helping us with our kids. And when we got here, like our kids didn't even care about us because they were just playing with grandma and papa. And me and my husband like observed, like, man, they just have this amazing ability to be totally present with them. And we were like both kind of feeling bad that we don't do that all the time. And we want to do it more. And then it just like hit me like, okay, but we are the ones that have to make the dinner. We're the ones that have to mow the lawn. We're the ones that have to take out the trash and make sure the house isn't getting destroyed all the time. And we're the ones in charge of doing the homework and making sure that's getting done and getting them to where they need to be. And I think it's easy to think that you're supposed to like just be all in, like, nothing else, totally not distracted by anything. But the reality is life is still going on and we still have all these tasks we got to do,
Yeah.
right? So can I be present in doing the homework? Can I be present in helping my kid learn to take out the trash as part of their chores, I think it's that being intentional and aware that what's really hard is what pulls you away from that, though. I think that's where it gets mucky is the phone distractions or my other children yelling at me for needing different things, so I don't know, just some thoughts.
Well, most parents have a child that they don't recognize as a child, and it's their phone.
Ugh.
Oh, gut punch.
Yep.
Yeah,
I am suspect too. I'll be sitting there checking an email or responding or doing this, and I'll hear from Spirit. It's so funny how Spirit talks to me. They'll go, "Do you think there's something better you could do?" and then they'll go, "Did you notice that William's really silent right now?" And I'm like, "Oh crap. I got to go be present with William, with my son."
Yeah.
And it's cool though. It's cool that they keep reminding me, hey, there's all this going on around. What's cool about your grandparents though, or your parents, your in-laws,
Yeah.
is that's like their second chance.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they've learned, keep it fun, joyful, and present, and let mom and dad do all the dirty stuff.
Yeah.
There's a magic in being a grandparent.
There is.
I've experienced that now.
I'm looking forward to it one day.
Oh my goodness. Well, people kept talking it up like it was this amazing thing. And I was like, is it really? Yeah, it is.
You don't have any of the other crap to worry about.
Yeah. At the same time though,
Yeah.
there is some false advertising. with that.
Tell me more.
Well, and it depends. So there's some that take it, some grandparents that are like, nope, I don't change diapers because I'm already done doing that.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's kind of a lame way to be a grandparent because so when we go to just fully babysit. So because we remember being young parents, you need a break. So we go to provide that break. And so we're doing the feeding and the changing and everything else. And even when they're there, Like the last time we were there, Sydney, she was like, well, it's time to change him. And she just kind of left it open. I was like, I got it. I'll take care of it.
Oh,
I've only got to
good.
change him like once or twice every 2 weeks. I can do that
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I love her and I want her to feel loved and supported.
Yeah.
Aside from, I mean, so it's an easy, simple thing to do. And I still get a lot of fun with this kid. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do that every day. I've already been in that phase of life. Not there now. Anyway, the thing that I want to mention with the phone, one is it's a refuge. Really, it's kind of an
Yeah.
easy way to step out of whatever we're doing, and sometimes we get stuck there. The other thing that I wanted to mention on the piece with being present with the kids, I think part of what makes that difficult is we've got expectations around what that's supposed to look like. And if we're not living up to what we expect it's supposed to look like, we don't give ourselves credit for what effort and successes we're doing. We only berate ourselves for not meeting our imagined and illusionary ideal.
Yeah.
So just embrace whatever presence you can provide and have that be enough. And it's like a muscle. As you do it more, you're going to get better at it. You're going to realize, okay, well, I'm here helping with homework. My phone is going to be way over there on the counter because for the next hour, I'm only in homework mode and I'm fully present.
Yeah.
So anytime you need to be present, if you can put your phone out of reach, that's going to help you be more present. If there's other things you can clear out of your mind beforehand, either by taking care of them or just realizing they can wait, do that. And then please, please, please give yourself credit for the effort. And whatever little successes you can do, because then it's enjoyable and you can build on it instead of not enjoyable because you're not living up to what you think you should be doing.
Yeah. Man, it's so hard to it's possible. I know it's possible to redefine what those expectations are for yourself, but I know for myself, the expectation comes from a little bit of my own stuff from my
Mhm.
past that it's like I'm trying to heal that little wound in me.
Mhm.
But being aware of that helps me, just even being aware that that's where it comes from
Mhm.
helps me to get out of that and just provide what this child needs in that moment. So, because
Yeah,
all the kids
awareness is huge.
are all different.
They're
Yeah.
all so different. Yeah.
They are. They are.
I joke around that if we had had our son first, we might not have any other kids. And that's a very serious joke because I love that guy so much. And it feels like I'm healing my younger self in raising him, which is really neat. But Emma made it so easy that I thought I could do 10 of these.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't get 10. I'm glad that God saw wiser ways than sending us 10,
Yeah. Yeah. They're amazing. Okay, I want to jump to the second part of the hour of power, the nighttime part. Chat about that part because
This is my
that is
favorite
my
part.
sacred space. Having kids, like they go to bed at 8. That's kind of like a hard line in our house. And that is our time.
Yeah, let's talk about that because I am not good at the evening part. I'll just
You're not?
straight up say it. No.
Really?
I'm good at disconnecting and shutting everything down. But when I'm like, okay, it's time to go to bed, I've got my routine, and then I set my head down on the pillow, and I am unconscious within probably 2 minutes.
Okay, that's a gift.
And
Yeah.
Donna would say, I mean, sometimes before my head even hits the pillow, 2 minutes is actually stretching it. Honestly, it's probably like within 30 seconds of saying it's time to go to sleep, I'm out. So I don't spend a lot of time reviewing the day, thinking about things. I just kind of dump everything and sleep. And I know it's a gift,
That
but
is a gift to be able to just sleep on command.
part of that is training myself, and part of it is military. I mean, you just learn to sleep anywhere. I fell asleep in the middle of Home Depot one time. Had a good nap.
Where were you in Home Depot? I can't think of many
It was
comfortable
so in the middle where the desk and computer section, we were getting some blinds cut, and it was going to be about 10, 15 minutes. And Donna was there, and I was like, well, so we were moving, and I was tired, so I just slid back in the chair and was like, I'm going to nap. And so I slept for about 10 minutes, and I woke up as they were wheeling the cut blinds over to us. Like part of me was still aware. It was a good
Yeah.
nap. I was ready to go the rest of the day. So
So-
what I have learned how to do is sometimes when I've got a lot of thoughts going on, I've learned how to um, basically take all of the active thoughts, put them in a box, put them on the shelf, and then it's almost like walking through a house and turning off the lights. I just go through and I just put to sleep the different parts of my brain, and usually by the time I get to the front, I'm out.
Wow.
Ooh,
Takes me
I
about
like
5
that visualization. I've never done that.
Yeah, I just say, okay, all of these things are going to go tomorrow. Put them in a box, put them on the shelf. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I just walk through the house of my mind and just turn off the lights.
Could you not consider that as part of a very intentional practice
Yeah,
for
that
your
is.
hour of power?
Oh yeah, I
If
guess
you
that
needed to at nighttime.
would go. Yeah.
But my question is, what if the lights are already out? Just kidding.
Then you stub your toe.
So I use a God box.
Yeah.
So I will, anything I'm worried about, stressed about, people I'm praying for, that kind of thing. I have my end of day prayer, which it's quite a bit more than what your normal system is. I, number one, claim the space that I'm in with love, so that anything that doesn't synchronize with love has to leave.
Mhm.
And then I invite higher energy, angels, ancestors, loved ones. I invite deity itself into that space. And then as I'm winding down, I had already texted myself a meditation or a music track or something that I was flowing into days earlier.
Yeah.
And I will be playing that music. And then I will say, okay, this is what I'm putting in my God box. And I have this box in my mind, and I put any worries in there. I put loved ones that I'm worried about, clients that I'm worried about, which they're loved ones too. And anything that I need to, that I feel that I'm carrying, because we don't actually carry anything. We think we carry things.
Yeah.
But it's truly God carrying things. So I put it all in my God box, and then I say, okay, you can close the box. And I actually feel deity energy come in, close the box, and now the sleep is ready. Like the energy is ready for sleep. I set an intention. And when you get used to doing all this, I know this seems like a lot, but I can do all of this in 2 minutes, like very fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to sit and watch and veg, I'm being honest.
Everyone does. Everyone
Oh my
does.
gosh, it just for like how chaotic things are, to just like sit in one spot and just let my mind go. So, but saying that, we have made a big shift in the content we are consuming. We used to consume whatever was the latest hit,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and we just invested in Angel Studios just this week because we're really like putting our dollars, into good content now, and wholesome content, I should say. Because the stuff that's a hit, it's good, it's created well, but maybe sometimes I walk away and don't feel so great, and then I go to bed going, man, I gotta clear all this crap off me, rather than just
Oh,
watching
yeah.
something.
People
And
have, who brought me onto that was Andrea.
really,
So when we first got married, I was a CSI or not SVU nut, Law and
Oh,
Order.
yeah,
I loved that show. I would watch it any free moment I had. But this, we didn't have streaming back then, so it was on every channel. I swear, you could watch it on almost any channel back then. So I just flip it to wherever Law and Order was on, and I'd watch it to wind myself down to go to bed. And after like the third night, where Andrea had dreams of like having trauma done to her, she's
oh
like,
man,
if you're going to do that, do it outside the bedroom. Don't watch that in the bedroom.
Mhm.
And from that day forward, we have not had a TV in our bedroom since.
Mhm.
Now,
Oh,
since then, though, our phones have become our TVs. They have. And so I have to be careful about that I'm not doing any of that streaming. And then I ask Spirit sometimes, if I watch this energetically, what does it look like on me? And they show me like wearing all white, and then they'll show me what it's going to look like when I'm done watching it. And there's times I'm disappointed because I really want to watch this thing.
Yeah.
And they're showing me what I'm going to look like energetically, so I don't do it. Yeah.
That's a good way to be curious about it.
So I was just looking up
Yeah, go ahead.
which of the principles that touches on. So the using technology responsibly, avoiding negative influences, exercising the power of creation, all those things are wrapped up in there.
Yeah.
Especially the avoiding negative influences. There are some, and there's no judgment on this because everybody is different and things affect people differently.
Yeah.
But I think the key is being aware of how a particular thing affects you, and does it affect you in a way that you want it to? And Vinney, you've talked several times. You said this keeps coming up, so you mention it now. That energetic ladder of whether it brings you up the ladder or pulls you down the ladder of frequency.
Yep.
And I think just the awareness, and sometimes asking beforehand, and sometimes circumstantially, like today it might be okay, but tomorrow it might not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a given moment. So.
Yeah.
So let's give our audience a little idea of what that ladder is. So if you imagine your body is a ladder with 7 rungs on the ladder, and this is a really beautiful thing, but there's a sense built into all of us that if something is good for us, it lands high on our ladder. If it's not good for us, it lands low on our ladder. And you'll notice when you were a kid and you'd get in trouble, you would get sensation down low on your ladder. But when you would perform well or do something really well, you would feel the sensation high on the ladder.
You're talking about like physically in your body.
Physically in your body, yeah.
Okay.
So you can take a show and say, hey, I wonder if this is good or bad for me. And you can just make the statement, I'm going to watch this show. And then see where you feel that in your body. If you feel it really low, then something needs to be adjusted, either the show itself or maybe where you're going to watch the show, how long you're going to watch the show. So change it around a little bit and you'll watch. You can move it up or down the ladder. And some shows, you just can't get them off the second rung. That's just how they are. They're actually built to be that way. I know a particular individual, and I won't say the show, but it was a major show. Everyone was watching it. You couldn't watch it on regular TV, had to be on this specific service. And his primary job was to make sure that there was a certain amount of sexuality and nudity in every episode.
Wow.
That's what his job was. So he would approach every episode and say, oh, we need this scene over here. And director had to say, okay.
Yeah.
And he was given that power by the studio. So it's, there's some weird energies at play with all that. That's why it's important for us to be in charge of ourselves and not our instincts in charge of us, but us in charge of us.
Yeah.
Because really it's our lives, and we can decide how we want to live that life. And the more intentional we are in living that life, the more joy we have, the more connection we have, the more fulfilling our experience is going to be.
Yes.
And why not make that experience as fulfilling as possible? Because you're only getting, I was going to say you only get one run, Vinney.
Well, what's funny though is I'll have a client come to me and they'll say, my life's in shambles. I hate my life, this, blah, blah, blah. And I go, and the first thing I go is, what are you doing first thing in the morning? What is the very first thing you do in the morning? And then next I'll ask, what's the last thing you're doing before you go to bed? Then I know if they're putting junk there, they're setting themselves up to feel junk, like to feel garbage.
Yeah.
And, you'd never go and buy a Ferrari and just like throw Mars bars in it. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right? but yet we're given these flesh temples that are glorious and can take us for an entire lifetime for most of us, and our hearts beat so many thousands, maybe millions of times through the life, and it doesn't ask for anything in return other than don't treat me bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get some people that they say, my life's a shambles, and I give them all of these ideas of little changes, and each one of those, they go, I'm going to change that. And I'm like, then be happy with a life in shambles. Like you can't live ordinary and expect extraordinary. Like to be extraordinary, you have to do extraordinary things.
Mm-hmm.
So if I hear what you're saying, and I'm starting to feel overwhelmed because I recognize my patterns of morning or evening routine is maybe what you would call in shambles. What is something I can do?
Well, number one, recognize that your failed day is a much better day than most people's successful day, okay? Because the balancing that you're doing with all the kids, both you and Josh, and then still doing all of this podcast stuff, the editing, everything, like that is a huge ordeal. So you need to give yourself a regular praise for that. You do. And then on top of that, you don't need to put any expectation. So never invite your thief expectation to any of this. And just say, maybe if I try this, I'll feel a little bit better. Like the first time I started adding to my own routine, I said, I can add deep breathing. I know I can do that. And, in the book, we talk about, at least in the workbook, we talk about choosing times of like 3:33, 4:44. Choose a set time each day, set an alarm on your phone. And no matter what you're doing, drop what you're doing, do some deep breathing. And it just helps you maintain perspective that you are not the experience that you are having.
Yeah.
You are the being inside experiencing this experience that you're having. And that little baby shift, it allows you to now have intention and be intentional about so many different things. The other day, William got a marker and he decided he was going to redecorate the car.
Oh no.
On the inside.
Oh my goodness.
And Andrea told me about it. I wasn't there, but she told me about it, and it was just right before I was going to see them. And Spirit said, "Is this a good time to breathe?" And I said, "I don't know if I can." And so I said, "Well, I think I need to breathe." And so I took a couple of deep breaths. And what was neat for me is after 3 deep breaths, I saw so clearly that the car's just a thing. Yes, there's some lessons that we need to be teaching in this.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to let it go where he can just go do that again with someone else's car, right? But this was an opportunity to prove to him that he was more important than his mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the first thing I said to him, is I said, "William, you know you did wrong, right, buddy?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I go, "You're more important than those mistakes. You're more important than that car. You're more important than all of this." And then we were in this perfect frequency where we could start having that conversation, and how different it was. But if I'd been my old self, I know what I would have done.
Yeah.
The wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as a parent, it's really easy to be stuck in the moment because everything's so much in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And business is the same. Business is just corporate families. And, you think that it's different, but it's not. It's like the same. So even at work and societal structures, it's the same. Allowing yourself that breath to remove yourself from the moment, you now have perspective, true perspective.
Yeah, that's good.
And that being able to break out of that routine, and because there's one of the things you learn in psychology, there's this space. Viktor Frankl talks about this. About there's this space between the stimulus and response that many times we just go straight from stimulus to response. And if you can act in that little space and then as you practice, you can create an increased amount of space like you did with the breathing.
Yeah.
Taking a moment to breathe, increase that space so you could take action instead of reaction.
Yes.
You were intentional on how you approached the solution instead of just this happened and this is my response. And Alyssa, to your point, like how do you do that? Many times we need something to help break us out of that routine. And so just one simple thing is you could get a note card and just write on it, breathe, and put it in your bathroom. And so that's the reminder. You see the card and you're like, oh, I'm going to do 15 seconds of hour of power by breathing and setting my intention. You could say breathe, love, and awareness. And that's it. So now your hour of power is the 10, 15 seconds you're in the bathroom, which you got to go there anyway. But that breaks you out of your routine and starts creating that space to create a new experience throughout your entire day with that one reminder.
Here's the important step. As soon as you do something like that, make sure you start doing it in the beginning. Because I've put reminders like on my phone, even on a thing in my pocket. I put it on a bracelet I've worn. But if you don't actually do it, your mind is so quick to just add that to the mix, and it's blind. Yeah. What's your favorite hour of power content that you've experienced over the years? Because you've had years now knowing this, and you kind of knew it even before it came up in the book.
Yeah. Like my favorite thing to do during the hour of power, something I've started doing because I can, my life fits this now, is I will sit and meditate. And two things. One, I'm pretty consistent at, the other one I'm not. Just being authentic with that. One is, what do I need to know right now?
Okay.
Like what needs to enter my awareness that I have not been aware of? And sometimes there's some nice lessons there. And the second one is, who needs me today?
I love that one.
And just whoever comes to mind, don't question it. See if there's a certain way that you need to show up, but usually it's just shooting them a text message and say, hey, you're on my mind. How are you doing?
Yeah.
How
Makes a
many
big
times
difference.
have you followed through with that and had a response of, oh my goodness, this was the perfect moment. I really needed this.
More than a few.
Yeah.
It's when you open yourself up and ask, who needs me today? And you're that person. It's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I've done is when I say who needs me today, I've actually heard me.
Mm.
And that was really cool. The first time it happened, I go, no, there's something wrong. Really, who needs me today?
Mhm.
And then I heard it again. You need you today. And so I took a challenge that day to make sure I did something to just give myself some space, some honor time.
Something I know I've mentioned before, it's one of my favorite sayings that I picked up years ago, is, do you treat yourself like someone you love?
Ooh, that hits. When I look at my life, that hits so low on my ladder. But now I can feel it hits higher, but not all the time. For sure.
Yeah.
Meaning you don't often treat yourself like somebody you love. Because if you think about it, somebody you love, you're more forgiving, you're more compassionate.
Yeah.
When they make mistakes, you're like, hey, that's okay. You're doing your best.
You filter your words, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So really look at that. And then sometimes another tip that a friend of mine gave, when you're feeling low, and one of these times we might need to talk about how easy that is to do when it gets to winter months and the holiday seasons, that have a list of things that bring you joy. And when you're feeling low, do 3 of them. Not just one,
Yeah.
do 3, because it's going to take 3 to really get you out of that. But yeah, have that handy and really treat yourself like someone you love when you need that pickup.
What I love from you guys is I feel like I have this permission to start small and change like microscopic changes, and it
It's a
makes a
way to do it.
massive difference. So that's what I'm going to do. I feel like I've got a good night, like a strong nighttime, because at night I do gratitude journaling. I say my prayers. Me and my husband communicate with each other. Nighttime's good, but my morning, that could use some work. So I'm just going to make microscopic changes and see where it takes me.
Yeah.
And
Atomic
give
habits.
myself grace.
Yep.
Bring some atomic habits in there. Little tiny changes. They make big differences over time.
Yeah.
And I will do the same. I will improve my nighttime routine. I'll make sure I pause and reflect and set an intention.
Love that. You're just perfect, Vinney.
No, I wish. No, far
We
from.
assume yours is perfect since you're the one that teach it, you know?
Well, you know what's funny is there's been times where I'll be teaching something and the Spirit's like, you don't do this. And I'm like, and so I'll be honest with the person. I'll be like, well, they're talking to me too, just not you. Like I'm learning this with you.
Yeah.
And to honor it, I do make the attempt, sometimes full attempt, sometimes half attempt, but
Yeah.
I'm always constantly trying to refine. Like one pattern I saw showing up in me is somehow there was a sabotage pattern showing up where if there was a late night that was going to happen in my week, it was always going to be Wednesday night, because tomorrow, this is where I have to pack in. So my Thursdays, I have to pack in so much before I get on the podcast. And so I'm tired. So sorry everybody. I've been tired here. I'm working on it though, where I'm not so tired on Thursday mornings. I'm making sure I'm very strict on my Wednesday nights, and in bed as early as possible. And it's working, but it is really funny that there's something really good happening on Thursday. So life just doubles down on Wednesday night with not distractions, but like actual things every Wednesday night. So it's a fun pattern to recognize and make some adjustments, and make sure before I hit join with the call or join with a session for a client, I take a deep breath, even if I'm running late, so that I can bring that consciousness into it. It's a big difference for me. Yeah.
And one more thing I noticed in that conversation with expectations is you don't have to be a master of a principle to understand the principle.
Yeah.
And like many times sports coaches, they know what right looks like, and they can coach somebody on how to improve, even though they themselves aren't in like their bodies, either because they're older or whatever, can't do that move themselves. They know how to walk somebody through it, and they know what the ideal is and how to get there. And so even with us, we don't have to have mastered a principle to understand and explain how to do the principle.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
application. Application is it. So apply yourself, invest in yourself, even in your breaths, invest in yourself.
And be okay with doing it poorly before you can do it well.
Thank you for expanding your light today. If you want to find more information, get connected to our community, or simply contribute, see our website at livinggodslight.org. As always, please subscribe.